Hello everyone! So, I'm going to do a little bit of a different video today and talk about my opinion on something. Psychics. So, I've been watching a lot of videos online lately about the psychic twins. They're supposedly psychic twins that have predicted all of these different things, like world disasters and terrorist attacks, and they've supposedly solved missing persons cases and murder cases. But I've watched a lot of videos both of them and of people kind of like analyzing. I've noticed this with pretty much any psychic, that they all use the same tactics. They either make a general statement, such as like, I'm getting that there was someone close to you that had brown eyes. Like, brown eyes is the dominant eye color, so that's really, really likely. And then, I'm feeling that you're having difficulties with money. You may be overspending. That's a really, really common issue that people have. Everybody, pretty much, in this day and age is struggling with money, you know? And it's really common to have a habit of overspending. So, that's a kind of general statement where your likelihood of being wrong is low. Like, over 50% of people can relate to general statements like that, you know? Another thing that I've noticed that psychics do, like particularly the psychic twins, is they'll kind of like bring something up, like, I'm seeing that a close male figure in your life has passed away recently. And if the person is like, oh, when my grandma died, they're like, oh, no, it could have been a woman. I was just kind of seeing that it was a close family member. You see, like, they kind of turn it around a little bit. So, like, retroactively apply their prediction, I guess. So, and that's another way that you cannot really be wrong, is if you say something general, and then if somebody can relate to it a little bit, then you correct yourself. Or you say it so vaguely that, like, I see that someone close to you passed away. Like, don't even mention a gender, you know? And then most people lose people in their life. Nobody lives forever. So, it's just the amount of times that they're right compared to the total amount of guesses is, I'd say, on par with what anybody could do. Being a little bit more observant and doing some research behind people, if you can, before doing their reading, talking to them a bit, being in their home, observing what they're wearing, observing maybe they're fidgeting, so you mentioned they're anxious, you know, maybe they have dog hair on their coat, so you mentioned a pet. So being more observant is helpful, of course, but I honestly believe that anyone can be a psychic. And I don't mean literally be a psychic, because I don't think anyone is psychic. So, I do think, and this might seem contradictory, but I do believe that it's possible to predict things. I think it's possible to have visions that predict things. I think it's possible to have dreams that predict things. And I know this because I have had them. I've had dreams of exactly the way something happened. Like, videotaping, almost. Like, it was the same. And I've seen something happen right before it actually happened. Like, in my mind. And, I don't think that that makes me psychic, and I also don't think that it makes me extraordinary. I think that it has a lot to do with your subconscious and the way that your brain processes information. And I think that it's possible to have kind of, I guess, supernatural things happen to you, but I just feel like so many psychics are fake, and I don't think that I've ever come across one that isn't. And not just even psychics, but just people who claim to be enlightened, or people who claim to be extraordinary or have special abilities. Most of the time, when you talk to them, not only are they just a regular person, but they don't actually even seem to have any more insight than the regular person. And I feel like some people are a lot more gullible, I suppose, and believe these types of things more easily without being skeptical about it or looking at, like, the facts. But I think that psychics kind of just prey on that. And I think that the whole idea of a psychic is phony. I think that everybody has the ability to perhaps predict things, perhaps have a dream that will predict something, but I don't think that any one person is really any more extraordinary. I think that people are more intelligent than other people, people are more observant than other people. People might be a little bit more sensitive to that sort of thing than other people, but I don't think that psychics are a thing, and I don't think that the psychic twins are legitimate. I think that they believe that they are legitimate. I think that they have convinced themselves that they are. It's possible to kind of lie to yourself so much that you actually believe that that's the truth. So I do think that they, in that sense, aren't lying, and that they do truly believe that they're psychic, and they do truly believe that they're extraordinary. But the reality is, just watching them, it was just like, I mean, it's so vague, and then half the time, if they can't come up with something for the present or the future, they'll, like, bring up a past life, and that's something that you absolutely can't prove. The only way to know anything about your past lives is if you have some sort of, like, vision or abnormal knowledge about a past life that turns out to be factually correct. Like, there are a few instances of people who have been like, no, I'm this person who is married to this person, and we lived in this house in this town, and it's like, how could you know about this? You're 3 years old. And then they go to the place and find the house, and there have been a few cases of that. So I think it's possible that you can know things about past lives, but I don't think someone else is going to tell that to you. I think that it's something that has to come to you in, like, a vision or a dream or something of that sort, or memories that come back. I don't think that it's something that a psychic is going to be able to see. And that's just my personal beliefs. I do have a very, very open mindset, and I do believe in a lot of things that a lot of people might think are phony, but I do not think that psychics are real. I just don't. I apply logic to what I believe, and the reality of it is that psychics, like the psychic twins, rely upon vague information, retroactively correcting information that they have told you. They over-exaggerate their success rates. Half of their success rates there's no proof for, and the ones that there is proof for is them talking about things, and they're always quite vague with the things they've been correct about. They've said, like, well, I foresee a terrorist attack on the Twin Towers. They did predict that. They didn't say when, I don't think. I think they said that it was going to be in 2001 or 2002 or something like that. But the reality of it is that you're picking a date in the future. I believe they predicted this in the 90s. So you're predicting this in the future. You're predicting something that's likely based on world events. The Twin Towers were always on the top of the list for terrorist attacks. They've always been. There's always been security there. There's always been, like, people watching it for that sort of thing. I mean, they built the building so that it would be protected against that. I mean, obviously, that didn't work out. Twin Towers is a whole nother thing. But, regardless of that, it's not unlikely to say that. I mean, if you're having conflict with another country, say, I don't know, I think we might go to war with China in 10 years. I could predict that right now. China is a big world power. There's been a bit of friction. 10 years from now, China's going to be at war with us. Let's just say it. Now, if I'm right, does that make me a psychic? Does that make me incredible? Or does that make me someone who knows a little bit about world issues and then just guesses something in the future? So, what I'm trying to say is that psychics are regular people who are just full of themselves and observant. That's about it. Yeah, hopefully this was interesting. Let me know if you like videos like this, like opinion talking videos. I don't know, I've never done anything like this before, but I have a lot of opinions, so I could do more if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Bye.